do these gardeners in El Dorado, a prosperous community outside Santa Fe, New Mexico, have in common with these gardeners in Acornhoek, a mostly poor rural community in South Africa's Mpumalanga province? Both are part of a worldwide community garden movement, which has its roots in both the human need to be close to nature and the practical need for access to nutritious fresh food. Community gardens can be a joy, a source of locally grown organic food, and an opportunity for education. Both of these gardens exist in association with local schools. Members of the El Dorado School Community Garden volunteer to work with teachers and students at the school. The garden is an outdoor classroom where students come to understand the process of growing the food they eat and connect with the earth.
We try to be quiet so we could see all the wildlife like the quails and other stuff. Look at it.
The Education Committee was formed with the idea that education is pervasive throughout the garden. It's not just the school children, although that is our focus in the outdoor classroom. And one of the things we've done is we've worked closely with the teachers at the school to try to create lessons that focus on what the garden has to offer. And that is a wealth of things, from meditation and contemplation to actually planting and harvesting in the garden. One of the things we've done is we've done a lot of research about programs all over the United States that have already worked in gardens and developed curriculum, especially for K through 8, which is what our El Dorado Community School focuses on. The teachers at the school have developed their own lessons based on these curriculum.
It is the squash family. Anyone else know what other plants might be in that family? You want to guess on that one, Max? Gourds. Very good. Anything else? Pumpkins. Pumpkins? Wow, you guys are so smart.
The kids in the 5th grade planned a squash and pumpkin garden. The kids planted squash, and unfortunately we had a frost, and all of those squash plants were lost, the plants that they had developed in the classroom. But that's okay, because one of the things we focused on is failures as well as successes, because students learn from failures sometimes even more than they do from successes. So those squash were replanted, and now they're absolutely beautiful, and we're looking forward to the students coming back in the fall.
We have been discussing in class a lot. We've been talking about the web of life. I think the reason why they had a good knowledge base for it was because we come outside here into the community garden, and the students have learned that when they come outside, they affect everything that's around them. So,
Sometimes we water and then we read a book and then we write. One time we came out here and wrote poetry.
We write about what we see in poetry, and we write about butterflies, what we see and what we hear and what we felt.
And then when we started coming out here, we didn't really like vegetables.
the kids have really enjoyed eating it fresh from the garden, and kids who normally didn't like vegetables in the beginning of the year have actually started eating them and enjoying them because they taste better, I have heard. Do you think they taste better when you grow them yourselves?
Yeah, I do.
The garden at Cheyu Primary School in South Africa is one of 2 permaculture gardens sponsored by Seeds of Light, a project of the Santa Fe-based nonprofit Core Light. Parents and grandparents work in the gardens. The fresh vegetables grown provide nutritious school lunches, a source of extra income, and in an area where 1 out of 3 people are HIV positive, are an important immune system support. Community gardens thrive both in times of prosperity and in times of economic challenge. Sales of organic seeds in the U.S. rose about 50% in 2009 as more people embraced the grow-your-own-food philosophy for both idealistic and practical reasons. Eating locally grown food decreases energy use, since fossil fuels are not used to transport food over vast distances.
There's any more down in there?
And there's nothing better than fresh, organically grown vegetables straight out of the garden. The El Dorado School Community Garden begins each growing season with a blessing, an honoring of the land and of the web of life.
We have over 70 members of the garden, and we have had a great deal of contribution from our community in establishing this garden. We have many raised beds, we have many in-ground beds, we have a very large communal garden, we have a beautiful cactus garden, a perennial garden, a cornfield, a pumpkin field, and a lot of very happy members.
The communal garden is the part of the garden where we all share in all the work and we all share in all the results. So we have about 2,000 square feet in the crop circle garden, which is our circular beds. We're trying to go all organic, and you can see the results. The greatest joy and success is seeing the community group working together. Our average work days, we talk a lot, laugh a lot, pick a lot, work some as much as needed. So definitely the greatest joy is the social development and the community development that's gone on. It's beyond anything I could have imagined.
So this is an example, I think, of an incredible success story because of the district commitment, the site commitment, the enthusiasm of the kids and the teachers, and the expertise and the incredible commitment and engagement of our community gardeners. We did all the irrigation infrastructure, we built the kiosks, the entrance structure, we built the shade structure, we constructed the seating, the signage, we did murals. One of the side benefits of this project has been all the connections that have happened between people. That the garden and the process of growing food and sharing food has brought people together and created this wonderful spirit of community.
In any arid climate, water is the lifeblood that allows gardening. In both New Mexico and Mpumalanga, the rains are welcome when they come, but cannot be depended upon. In El Dorado, infrastructure for water-efficient drip irrigation has been installed, with plans for rainwater harvesting in the future. In Acornhoek, access to clean water is a newfound luxury, made possible by Seeds of Light, which has drilled wells at 2 primary schools, providing water for these year-round gardens and for the surrounding community. Anywhere in the world, community gardens are strong tools for community building, for bringing neighbors together in a spirit of sharing a common dream and a common wealth.
Gardening at home is a lonely pursuit. So I have met people that I didn't even know existed.
When we have a work day, I'm normally in charge, so I'm a slave driver. But suddenly I stop and I look around and you have 35 people working together to make things happen.
Nobody takes more than their share, and people are wanting to give other people more than they take themselves.
There's a very subtle, energetic thing that happens with people when they work with Mother Earth. It's a very grounding thing. It's a connection to the earth. It's feeling the earth. It's watching what the earth can do and working in concert with Mother Earth to create this bounty.
It is a blessing just to be in the garden and to work with the earth and the soil and your fellow garden members.
Well, the joke is actually that I do eat vegetables. Zucchini bread and carrot cake.
You